We have prostituted ourselves to the God of growth in the American church. And here's what you need to do when you hit your leadership lid. You don't necessarily need to go somewhere else so someone can take it to the next level, because more often than not, the next level is going to be here, not where you were. What we need to do when we hit a lid, and it was about 3,000, it just dawned on me, we've got addicted to growth here. And I sat our board down and I said, I'm scared to death that someday, whenever we stop growing, all of us are going to feel like failures instead of high-fiving each other of the amazing things God did through us. So here's my commitment to you as a board. You can fire me, they have that authority, but I'm not quitting just because we level out. But what we're going to do whenever we hit our lid is we're going to honor and celebrate the wildfires that God is breaking out in our region. We're going to give them money. We're going to pray for them. We're going to help a new church plant by buying them chairs, whether they're of our tribe or not. And somehow we still are growing, but there is going to come a day where year over year we're not bigger than we were. And if you have 4 or 5 years of that, I just want to encourage you, it doesn't mean you're a loser. It might mean God is moving you on. You certainly have to ask that question. But this idea that every church is supposed to get big rather than every church is supposed to reach the niche of people like you know, it causes a whole lot of people to feel very bad when God is up there clapping and saying, well done, thou good and faithful servant. So I think you ask that question, but way too often the church answer is get out when you're the lid. And that's like, why? Here's an example of our culture. What was her name? Chrissy Everett, long ago, was a famous #1 in the world in tennis. And the reason I remember it is a quote. After she'd been #1 for like 7 or 8 years in the world, she was ranked the next year as #2. And at a press conference, they were asking her when she's going to retire. And she said, does the #2 brain surgeon in the world retire? And the reason I remember it, I saved that clip because I think it's so reflective of our stinking culture. You're either up and to the right or you're out. And I just don't find that in Scripture.